Today we're taking a look at something that I think a lot of our listeners, especially those of you who are maybe over 55, struggle with, and that is getting a good night's sleep. It's a little more than just feeling tired in the mornings, isn't it?
It is. For many adults, once they hit that 55-year mark, insomnia, it's not just an every now and then thing. It's persistent, and it has some consequences that you really got to consider. And as we're going to talk about today, it goes way beyond just, feeling tired. It affects things like your heart health, your blood sugar, your mental well-being, even how your brain ages over time. We're talking about pretty big stuff here.
No kidding. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, when they start really struggling to get that sleep, they turn to, well, something that seems like an easy fix, right? Sleeping pills. But the research that we've been looking at really paints, well, a bit of a different picture, doesn't it? It highlights the possibility of becoming dependent on those pills. And then there's, worrying about memory problems, a greater chance of falls. And then on top of that, there's this study from the BMJ, no less, that linked taking sleeping pills regularly to, well, a higher risk of dying earlier and even developing those neurodegenerative diseases.
Absolutely. Scary stuff.
Yeah. So that brings us to what we're diving deep into today. We're going to be talking about natural ways to improve your sleep. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on the power of food. That's right. What you eat can actually help you quiet that busy mind at night, let your body actually relax, and get you back to sleeping the way you should. We're zeroing in on 7 particular foods that can do this for you. And the best part, no side effects, no harsh chemicals, nothing to be afraid of.
Absolutely. It can make a huge difference. And, if you're listening right now and you've spent nights just tossing and turning, or you wake up way too early and can't get back to sleep, or maybe you just feel anxious at night, well, this is for you. We're going to show you how to take back those nights and get the rest you deserve and desperately need by making some simple changes to what you eat.
I love it. Okay. So before we get into all the good stuff, all those sleep-promoting foods, let's talk about why sleep gets so much harder after we hit our mid-50s. What's changing in our bodies that makes it more difficult?
Well, one of the big things that happens as we get older is that our bodies start producing less melatonin. Melatonin is that hormone that basically tells your body, hey, it's time to sleep. And after 55, melatonin production can drop, get this, by up to 50%. So it's no wonder that both falling asleep and staying asleep get trickier. It's not just you imagining things. It's a real biological change.
Wow, 50%. That puts things into perspective. It's not all in our heads. So it's not just that we're getting older and maybe a little crankier.
Yeah.
There's a real physical reason behind this.
Right. Exactly. And, good sleep at this point in our lives, it's not just a nice to have. It's really essential for our well-being, for sure. But some research even suggests that it's critical for survival. When we're in deep sleep, our bodies are hard at work doing all sorts of crucial repair and maintenance.
So it's like our bodies are in the shop getting tuned up while we're sleeping soundly. Okay, so tell me more about this maintenance work. What's actually going on in our bodies and minds during those crucial deep sleep phases?
Well, for starters, our brains are busy getting rid of waste products, including toxins that have been linked to some pretty serious conditions, like Alzheimer's disease. Deep sleep also helps to regulate our blood sugar, which is super important for energy and overall health. It keeps our stress hormones in check, which is, who doesn't need less stress? And on top of all that, it gives our immune system a chance to recharge and get stronger.
Wow, that's quite a to-do list. It makes sense why not getting enough sleep can really impact our health in so many ways.
You got it. In fact, there's research that shows if you consistently sleep less than 6 hours a night, you increase your risk of a heart attack by a whopping 48%. That's almost a 50-50 chance. It just shows you how vital sleep is for a healthy heart.
That's a scary statistic. But the good news is, as we've been talking about, we can take back control of our sleep naturally, and using food is a powerful way to do that.
It absolutely is. But before we jump into all that good stuff, we got to talk about those sleeping pills that so many people rely on. They seem like the quick and easy answer, right? Pop a pill, problem solved. But like we mentioned earlier, it's not that simple. There can be some real downsides.
I get it. When you're desperate for a good night's sleep, that pill can feel like a lifesaver.
Right, I totally understand. But here's the thing. Most sleeping pills, they don't really promote natural sleep. They basically just sedate you. It's kind of like turning off your computer by yanking the plug out of the wall instead of shutting it down properly. You're not going through all the essential sleep stages that allow your body and mind to truly rest and repair.
That's a great analogy. You're basically just knocking yourself out, not really getting good quality sleep.
Exactly. And then you have the problem of tolerance. Your body gets used to the pills, so you need to take more and more to get the same effect. This can lead to dependence, where you feel like you can't sleep at all without them.
And that's a slippery slope. And as if that wasn't bad enough, what about all the other side effects that come with those pills?
Oh, there are plenty. You can experience brain fog, that feeling of grogginess that just won't go away, even during the day. There's an increased risk of falls, which is particularly dangerous as we get older. And even scarier, they can mess with your memory. Plus, the sleep you do get on sleeping pills is often broken up and not very restful.
Right, it's not the kind of deep restorative sleep that we really need. And let's not forget that BMJ study we talked about, the one linking those pills to, well, some pretty grim outcomes.
Yeah, that study really makes you think twice. Finding out that taking sleeping pills regularly could increase your chances of dying younger and developing some serious brain diseases? Well, that should make anyone consider trying other, safer ways to get a good night's sleep.
It seems like those pills might offer a temporary escape, but they're not really addressing the root of the problem.
Exactly. So let's shift gears now and talk about how we can use what we eat to really make a difference in our sleep. And this is where things get exciting.
I'm all ears. I think a lot of people don't realize how closely linked our diet and our sleep really are. So break it down for us. How does what we eat actually affect our ability to sleep well?
Well, you see, to make those crucial sleep hormones, like melatonin and serotonin, our bodies need certain nutrients. These are like the ingredients in a recipe. Without the right ingredients, you can't bake a cake, right?
Well,
And the same goes for sleep. If we're not getting the nutrients we need from our food, our bodies struggle to make those sleep hormones. And remember, as we get older, we naturally produce less melatonin anyway, so it's even more important to give our bodies the building blocks they need. Otherwise, you're left with a busy mind and a tense body when you're trying to wind down for sleep.
so it's all about chemistry, even when it comes to sleep. It makes total sense now.
You got it. And what's fascinating is that some foods can actually act like natural sleeping pills. Some contain compounds that help our bodies make more melatonin, while others have a relaxing effect on our muscles and our nervous system. It's like nature's own sleep medicine right there on your plate.
I love that. Natural sleep medicine. And I bet there are other health benefits to these foods, too.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of the foods we're going to talk about are also great for your heart, help keep your blood sugar balanced, and even support brain health. So you're not just improving your sleep, you're boosting your overall health as well.
Okay, let's get to it. What's the first food on our list of sleep superheroes?
Well, the first one might surprise you. It's the humble banana. You probably don't think of bananas as sleep aids, but they really can be.
Really? A banana. What makes them so special when it comes to sleep?
Bananas are packed with magnesium and potassium, which are both natural muscle relaxants. They also help calm your nervous system and prepare your body for rest. And magnesium is especially important because a lot of people over 55 don't get enough of it. That deficiency can lead to things like leg cramps at night and that feeling of your mind just racing when you're trying to fall asleep.
Ah, so that explains those annoying leg cramps.
Exactly. Now, bananas also have another secret weapon, tryptophan. This is an amino acid that our bodies use to make serotonin, which is the happy hormone. And guess what? Serotonin is a precursor to melatonin. So eating a banana can set off a chain reaction in your body, ultimately boosting your melatonin levels and helping you drift off to sleep.
I love the idea of a chain of tranquility happening inside us after we eat a banana. Okay, so how do we incorporate this magical fruit into our nighttime routine for maximum sleep benefits?
It's pretty simple. Just eat about half a banana around 30 minutes before bed. And for an extra boost, you can pair it with a teaspoon of almond butter or a little bit of oatmeal. We're going to talk about those in a bit, but both of those can enhance the sleep-promoting effects of the banana.
That's so easy, and it's perfect for those late-night cravings that sometimes wake us up, right? Or if you wake up feeling anxious.
Absolutely. Having a little bit of banana on hand can help you get back to sleep quickly and easily. All right, ready for number 2 on our list?
Bring it on.
Number 2 is a breakfast favorite that doubles as a sleep aid, oatmeal. It's more than just a healthy way to start your day. It can actually help you wind down at night.
Oatmeal for better sleep. This is fascinating. I would never have guessed that. What makes oatmeal so good for getting those Z's?
Well, it all comes down to those complex carbohydrates that oatmeal is famous for. When you eat oatmeal, it slowly raises your insulin levels. And you know what? Insulin actually helps tryptophan, that amino acid we talked about earlier, get into your brain. And once it's in your brain, it can get to work making serotonin and then melatonin. It's like oatmeal sets the stage for your body to make its own natural sleep cocktail.
So it's like giving your body a gentle nudge in the right direction.
Exactly. Plus, oatmeal is a good source of B vitamins, and those are crucial for a healthy nervous system. And a calmer, less anxious mind is definitely more likely to fall asleep and stay asleep.
No arguments there. I know a racing mind can make it almost impossible to fall asleep.
For sure. So here's what I recommend. About 35 minutes before bed, have a small bowl of warm oatmeal. Use plant-based milk, like almond milk or oat milk, and sprinkle a little cinnamon on top. It's comforting, and many people find that it helps them relax and get ready for sleep without upsetting their stomachs.
That sounds delicious and super soothing. Okay, on to number 3. What have we got?
Number 3 is a tiny but mighty sleep enhancer. Almonds.
Almonds. I love those. I usually have a handful as a snack during the day, so they're good for sleep too.
You bet. Even just a small handful of almonds in the evening can make a difference in your sleep quality. First of all, almonds are packed with magnesium, which we talked about earlier, and that's essential for relaxing both your muscles and your mind. A single serving of almonds, about 30 grams, gives you about 20% of the magnesium you need each day.
And we know that not getting enough magnesium can lead to trouble sleeping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not enough magnesium can make it hard to fall asleep and even contribute to chronic insomnia. On top of that, almonds are a great source of protein and healthy fats, which help keep your blood sugar stable throughout the night. That's important because when your blood sugar dips, especially in the early morning hours, it can wake you up.
So almonds help keep things running smoothly all night long.
That's it. And guess what? Almonds also contain tryptophan, so they contribute to that chain reaction that leads to melatonin production. It's like they hit all the right notes for a good night's sleep.
Wow, so they help you relax, stabilize your blood sugar, and boost your melatonin. Almonds are like a sleep triple threat.
I like that. So here's how to make almonds work for you. About an hour before bed, try eating 5 to 8 raw, unsalted almonds. You can have them on their own, with a cup of herbal tea, or even with that half banana we talked about earlier.
And what about people who have trouble chewing? Are there other ways to get the benefits of almonds?
Absolutely. If chewing whole almonds is difficult, you can crush them up and mix them with a little bit of honey or plain yogurt. You'll still get all the good stuff.
That's good to know. Okay, on to number 4. What else can help us get a good night's rest?
This one is a fruit that's actually a natural source of melatonin. Cherries. And the best kind for sleep is the tart cherry.
Tart cherries. I know they're good for you, full of antioxidants and all, but I didn't know they actually contained melatonin. I thought that was mostly found in supplements.
Well, supplements are definitely an option, but tart cherries are one of those rare foods that contain a decent amount of melatonin naturally. And remember, as we get older, our bodies make less melatonin, so getting it from food can be really helpful, especially if you're having trouble sleeping.
So it's like a direct melatonin boost from nature.
That's a great way to put it. There's been a lot of research on tart cherries and sleep, and the results are pretty impressive. Studies have shown that eating tart cherries or drinking their juice can increase your melatonin levels, which can help you sleep longer and better.
Are there any specific studies that stand out?
Yes. One study published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that people who drank tart cherry juice twice a day actually slept an average of 84 minutes longer each night. That's over an hour and a half of extra sleep. And they did it all without any medications.
Wow, that's amazing. So how do we make tart cherries part of our sleep routine?
It's pretty easy. You can have a handful of fresh or dried tart cherries before bed, or you can drink half a glass of 100% tart cherry juice about an hour before you go to sleep. If you can't find fresh tart cherries, frozen or freeze-dried ones work just as well. Just make sure you're choosing unsweetened varieties.
Great tips. I'm going to have to stock up on some tart cherries. Okay, what's next on our sleep-enhancing food list?
The next one isn't exactly a food, but it's a drink that's been used to promote relaxation and sleep for centuries.
Chamomile tea.
Ah, chamomile tea, a classic. It's nice to know that there's actual science backing up its reputation as a sleep aid. Right, it's not just an old wives' tale. Chamomile tea has real, scientifically proven calming and sleep-promoting properties. And one of the key ingredients is an antioxidant called apigenin.
Apigenin. So how does that help us sleep?
Well, apigenin actually binds to certain receptors in your brain. And this produces a calming effect that's similar to what you get from some anti-anxiety medications. But of course, chamomile tea is completely natural and doesn't have those nasty side effects or the risk of addiction. It can help reduce anxiety, relax your muscles, and get your mind ready for sleep.
It's like a gentle lullaby for your brain.
I like that. And, even the simple act of making and sipping a cup of warm chamomile tea can be really calming in itself. It sends a signal to your brain that it's time to slow down and unwind.
It's a nice ritual to have before bed.
Absolutely. And the research backs this up too. One study in the journal Phytomedicine found that people who drank chamomile tea every day for 2 weeks significantly improved their sleep quality and woke up less during the night.
Impressive. So what's the best way to make chamomile tea for a good night's sleep?
It's super simple. Boil some water, then steep a tablespoon of dried chamomile flowers or a tea bag for about 5 to 7 minutes. Drink it about 30 minutes before bed. You can add a little honey if you want a sweeter taste. Some people find that it enhances the calming effects.
Simple and delicious. And you mentioned earlier that we can combine some of these foods for an even greater effect. Does that apply to chamomile tea too?
You bet. Pairing chamomile tea with something like a banana or some almonds can really amplify the sleep-promoting power.
I'm going to have to experiment with that. Okay, we're down to our last two sleep-boosting foods. What do we got?
Our final two are actually a powerful combination that works together to calm your nerves and prepare your body for a restful night's sleep. Pumpkin seeds and golden milk.
Pumpkin seeds and golden milk. Okay, that's a new one for me. I'm intrigued. Let's start with those pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin seeds, sometimes called pepitas, are nutritional powerhouses when it comes to sleep. They're loaded with magnesium, zinc, and, you guessed it, tryptophan. That same amino acid that we've been talking about that ultimately gets converted to melatonin.
It's like the sleep all-star. So pumpkin seeds are another good source of those key sleep-regulating nutrients.
Exactly. And what's really cool is that these nutrients work together synergistically. Magnesium relaxes your muscles and calms your nerves. Zinc helps your body turn tryptophan into serotonin, and then, of course, tryptophan is the precursor to melatonin. It's a sleep-promoting dream team.
That's amazing.
And to top it off, pumpkin seeds also contain healthy fats that help stabilize your blood sugar, which we know is important for staying asleep all night.
So how should we incorporate pumpkin seeds into our bedtime routine?
It's easy. Have about a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds, which is about 30 seeds, about an hour before bed. You can eat them raw, lightly toasted, or even ground up and added to a warm drink. They're super versatile.
I love that. Versatile and healthy. Okay, now let's talk about golden milk. It sounds so exotic and delicious.
Golden milk is an ancient Ayurvedic drink that has been enjoying a resurgence in popularity lately, and for good reason. It's incredibly beneficial for your health in many ways, and it can definitely help you sleep better. It's traditionally made with warm plant-based milk, like almond milk or oat milk, and then you add spices like turmeric, ginger, black pepper, and sometimes cinnamon and honey for extra flavor.
I've heard so much about turmeric lately. It seems like it's good for everything. How does it help with sleep specifically?
Well, turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, which has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. And it's also really calming. One of the things curcumin does is help reduce inflammation in the brain, and that can actually improve the way your brain produces and uses both melatonin and serotonin.
Wow, so it helps those sleep hormones work better.
Exactly. And the ginger and black pepper and golden milk, they aren't just there for taste. They actually help your body absorb curcumin more effectively. And cinnamon helps regulate your blood sugar, which, as we've discussed, can make a big difference in how well you sleep through the night.
It sounds like every ingredient in golden milk has a purpose. So how do we make this magical sleep potion?
It's really easy. Warm up a cup of your favorite plant-based milk on the stovetop.
Yeah.
Then whisk in about half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper, a little bit of grated ginger, and if you like, you can add a dash of cinnamon and a teaspoon of honey for sweetness. Drink it about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. It's like a warm hug for your body and mind.
That sounds absolutely heavenly. So we've covered all 7 of our sleep-enhancing foods and drinks. Now, the big question is, how do we put them all together to create a bedtime routine that really works?
That's the key, isn't it? Knowing about these foods is one thing, but actually using them consistently is how you really transform your sleep. The goal is to create a routine that signals to your body and mind that it's time to wind down and get ready for rest.
Okay, so guide us. What does an ideal sleep-promoting bedtime routine look like?
Our research has led us to a simple 4-step routine that's backed by both nutrition experts and sleep specialists. It's all about preparing for sleep gradually and paying attention to your body's cues.
I love that approach. It makes so much sense. Okay, let's break it down step by step. What's the first step?
The first step focuses on your evening meal. Make sure it's light, nutritious, and ideally eaten about 2 to 3 hours before bed. Avoid heavy, fatty, or spicy foods close to bedtime because they can be hard to digest and interfere with sleep. A great dinner option based on what we've talked about today could be a bowl of warm oatmeal with some sliced banana and a sprinkle of chopped almonds. It's packed with tryptophan, magnesium, and complex carbohydrates, which, as we know, can help your body produce those all-important sleep hormones.
That sounds like a delicious and sleep-friendly dinner. What about step 2?
Step 2 is all about creating a calming atmosphere and unwinding from the day. About an hour before bed, start disconnecting from electronics. Turn off your phone, step away from the TV and computer, dim the lights, and just relax. This is a good time to read a book, a real book, not an e-reader. Practice some deep breathing exercises or do some light stretching or restorative yoga.
It's like creating a buffer zone between the busyness of the day and the peacefulness of sleep.
Exactly. Then, about 30 to 45 minutes before bed, it's time for step 3, your sleep-enhancing snack. We recommend a tablespoon of raw pumpkin seeds with a cup of chamomile tea. But if you've had a particularly stressful day, you might want to switch the chamomile for a cup of that soothing golden milk instead.
So we're strategically choosing snacks that help us relax even more.
Right. And finally, just before you slip into bed, it's time for step 4, your final ritual. For this step, have a small handful of dried tart cherries, or half a glass of tart cherry juice. And here's a little extra something to try. Spend a few moments thinking about 3 good things that happened during your day. Research has shown that practicing gratitude can actually reduce insomnia by up to 35%.
Wow, I love that. Being thankful can help us sleep better. Who knew?
It's amazing, isn't it? This final ritual helps regulate both your body and your mind, letting your nervous system know that it's safe to relax and drift off to sleep.
It sounds like a really effective and enjoyable way to end the day. Do you have any final tips for putting this routine into action?
Yes, start slowly. Introduce these sleep-promoting foods one at a time and see how your body responds. Don't feel like you have to do everything perfectly every night. Consistency is key, so just aim to follow the routine as often as you can. The most important thing is to create regular habits that support your natural sleep patterns.
This is all such helpful information. It's empowering to know that we have so many natural tools at our disposal to improve our sleep.
It really is. And it's a great reminder that taking control of our sleep is essential for living a healthier, happier life. Sleep isn't just about not being awake. It's a vital process that impacts every part of our well-being. If we don't get enough sleep, we end up with less energy, we age faster, our hearts suffer, and our minds aren't as sharp. Sleep deprivation robs us of the vitality we need to truly thrive.
You're so right. Sleep is much more than just feeling rested. It affects everything.
Absolutely. But the good news is that nature has given us some pretty amazing tools to help us get the sleep we need. We've talked about 7 powerful foods and drinks today. Bananas, which are rich in magnesium and potassium. Oatmeal, which is full of complex carbohydrates. Almonds, which provide magnesium, protein, and tryptophan. Tart cherries, which are a natural source of melatonin. Calming chamomile tea. Pumpkin seeds, which are loaded with magnesium, zinc, and tryptophan. And soothing golden milk.
It's like a buffet of sleep-enhancing options.
And we've learned how to put them all together into an effective bedtime routine that can make a real difference.
It's so inspiring to know that we can take charge of our sleep naturally. And for those of you listening, we have a question for you. Which of these foods will you try tonight? Did you already know about any of these sleep benefits? We'd love to hear your experiences. Share your thoughts in the comments section. You never know, your story might inspire someone else to start their own sleep journey.
And remember, when you take steps to improve your sleep, you're taking steps to improve your overall health and well-being, you're reclaiming your energy and vitality, and you're setting yourself up to be the best version of yourself, day after day. Sweet dreams, everyone.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. And one last thought to leave you with. Think about how incorporating these simple, natural foods into your life can not only help you sleep better, but also bring more balance and wellness into your life as a whole. It's about so much more than just sleep. It's about taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit.